Hey guys, I just got out of the shower, hence the towel on my head, so I wanted to film a get ready with me. I actually filmed a first impressions on this. It's for the Anastasia Subculture palette, and I had to scrap the entire video because I did first impressions. Obviously it was a get ready with me using this for the first time, and I was out of frame the entire time because I had the camera zoomed in too much, so all you could see was this. And I was like, I can't use this, I can't upload it, but I still wanted to do another video with it because I don't hate this thing. Like, it's not the greatest palette ever, but it's nowhere near as awfully terrible as everybody's been making it out to be. So what I figured, since I've already used it a bunch, I kind of have some tricks as to how I get it to work, so I'll just do the video that way instead of first impressions because I've already used it a bunch of times. So I guess I'll just do like a chit-chat get ready with me, even though I don't have that much to talk about, I don't think. So I'm using I haven't shown this in a haul yet, but I got the Kat Von D mirror. I'm hoping that if I use this instead, that I won't be out of frame the entire time. The only thing that kind of sucks about this is there's the black stars on there kind of drive me nuts. So I'll hold it this way instead. But I'm just going to start by doing my eyebrows real quick. I've got like massive breakout going on over here, which is driving me nuts. It's that time of the month, so it's somewhat due to that. I have to use my regular makeup mirror. I don't know what it is, but I'm so used to using this, and I'm hoping that I don't go out of frame. So I've been driving myself nuts, continuing to look for a car. And the other night I found something that I liked, and I kind of want to go look at it, but then I started looking at like reviews of the car and stuff, and it's too small. First of all, I kept saying I didn't want a regular car, and here I go looking at a car. But it's a Mitsubishi Mirage, and it's pink, first of all, which is what got me in the first place, but I just think it's going to be too small, and it's got like crappy ratings and everything, but it's a 2015, and it doesn't have that many miles on it, and it's a good price. I don't know what we're going to end up doing. So I'm going to use the Hard Candy Eyes the Limit eyeshadow primer. This is a brand new tube of this. I bought it a while ago as like my backup, but now since I'm out of the other one, I'm busting into this one. What do I have all over me? Hear Aiden making a bunch of noise, I'm sorry. He's watching Trolls. He's obsessed with that movie now. We went to Walmart yesterday, and I made the mistake of going down the toy aisle, so we ended up getting the Trolls tree place, that thing that the trolls live in and everything. Alright, so my main issue with this palette is not the fallout or anything, because I went into using this palette knowing that you have to be super careful because the shadows are soft. They feel to me so much like the Lorac eyeshadows that I have. I have the Mega Pro palettes, so they just feel very soft like that. So my main issue with it is that when you put it directly on top of primer, it just wants to stick to the primer. The matte shades anyway that I've used, and they don't want to blend. So what I've been doing to make this palette work is I will put a base color of like a cream like this. This is Inglot Matte 351. It's like my favorite cream colored matte eyeshadow, and I'll put this all over my eye first, because I find that if it's blending into a powder, it's not nearly as difficult as trying to blend it right on top of primer. So I mainly put it in my crease, because that's where I blend out the most. It's not as big of a deal on my lid. And I will do that all over my eyes. Alright, so I'm going to use Actually, I'll do the same look that I did in the first impressions video since I didn't get to upload that because I just scrapped the footage. I'm going to use the Mercury color, which is this taupey shade. It's just a matte taupe, and lightly, so that it doesn't get everywhere. I haven't even found that they make that much of a mess though, these shades, so I don't know. I tend to be overly careful with eyeshadows anyway, so maybe it's just me, but you shouldn't have to do anything special, obviously, to make this work, like putting the powder all over my lid first, but I did really like this as a fall palette, so I wanted to give it its best shot, and I ended up not, like, I don't hate the thing. Oh, I wanted to do my foundation first. Every time I go to film a Get Ready With Me, I, like, screw up what I'm wanting to do. I hate a handheld mirror when I'm trying to use my right hand on my left eye, so hopefully I'm not out of frame for this. If I am, I'll cut it out. But on my left eye it's kind of difficult because I cannot see without my glasses on. Alright. I'm going to stop actually, and while my beauty blender is still damp, I'm going to put my my Lumine. I keep wanting to say Lumine, but I've been told it's pronounced Lumine. So the color correcting CC cream, which is like my new favorite because I'm not a huge foundation person. I know I say that all the time, but I love this stuff because it doesn't make me oily or greasy or anything. It smells really good, and I need to cover up this explosion that's going on my chin. I'm going to use some Maybelline Master Conceal because I have so much redness on this area right here. It doesn't usually bother me when I get like a pimple, but I decided, my chin decided to get like 4 of them all at once this month, so yeah, that's gonna have to be good enough. I'm not really... Now my lip is bleeding. Okay. I'm going to go into the color Electric, which is like a light gold with a green shift. And I'm going to take that on my finger because I found that using this one, it applies better with your finger. And it seems like it got hard pan on it. That's awesome. I did really like this shadow the first 2 times I used it, and now it seems like it doesn't want to work for me. Alright, so I'm just using this color on the inner half of my lids. Alright, and then I'm going to use a blending brush, if I can find it. Where is it? And I'm going to use the olive shade called Destiny. It's just a matte olive. Most of the shades in here are matte. And I'm going to put that on the other half of my lid. Definitely helps with these to use like a tapping motion too if you're having problems with them blending. I'm going to take my crease brush again and I'm going to go in with New Wave, which is that kind of butternut color, pumpkin color. just a little bit of that, and I'm going to use that to kind of blend out the edges. This is a very fall look, even though it's the middle of August, but I don't care. You have to use a super light hand with these because they tend to want to get muddy. And then I'm going to go back into that Inglot color and just use that as a brow highlight because there's not really any colors in this palette that are light enough for me to do this. Now, that's it for the eyeshadow, I mean. Now I'm going to use my favorite eyeliner, the Catrice Liquid Metal in Black Stage. I use this 99% of the time, especially because I'm all out of my ColourPop one right now. I need to place another order with them, but I wanted to try their concealer, so I'm gonna wait until their concealers are back in stock, and then I'll place an order to replenish my eyeliner, and I need another brow pencil too. I'm going to use the Catrice Ultimate Lash Multimizer. I actually just ordered one of their new ones. It's called Rock something. It's got like a studded cap. It looked pretty cool. But I'm almost out of this one, so I wanted to get another Catrice one because I really like their mascara too. Now I can't remember what I used for highlighter and blush when I filmed the first impressions, but I guess that doesn't really matter all that much. So I'll use for highlighter the Melt Cosmetics Stargazer highlight, which is so pretty, and I don't use this one enough, so I'm going to use this today. I think I tend to not grab for this one because it's got a very, almost like a cream consistency, so it's harder to pick up on a brush. But I love the color of it. It's just a very pretty, like, champagne. I don't really like doing it to my nose because my nose gets so shiny throughout the day, so and then blush, which I'm going to use my handy dandy Blackheart Beauty Kabuki brush, and you know what, I will use, I can never remember the names of these, Mood Exposure, which is the darker blush in my Hourglass blush trio here. These are probably my favorite blushes ever because they're so smooth and like they just make your skin look nice. Okay, so blush and highlighter, and then for lips, I'm actually going to use something that just came in the mail today because I want to try it out. It is the NYX Slip Tease in I Woke Up Like This, which is kind of like a deep nude. This is described as full color lip oil, so we will see, because a lot of the NYX lip products lately have not been impressing me, so I'm going to try this one. It doesn't have a scent to it, nothing other than like a lipstick scent. Okay, so the color isn't bad. I hate ordering colors like this online that I've never seen in person before because I'm never sure if I'm going to like it or not. It's kind of like a, I don't know, it's a brownish, but I don't hate it. I usually hate browns on me. Now, this feels really comfortable on the lips. I don't think it's gonna dry down. It's kind of like oily when you touch it, but it is called lip oil, so I don't know. I hope it's just not one of those that's gonna make a mess. Like the suede ones. I had a couple of those and they made such a mess because they just wanted to bleed everywhere. I don't know. On me, they did anyway, so we will see throughout the day. But that is it for my get ready with me using the Anastasia Subculture palette. Like I said, this is not the best palette ever. I definitely think it's it could have been improved upon. I don't know why they released it the way they did, but I also don't know why everybody hates it as much as they do, because it's not that terrible. I mean, I've had palettes that were worse than this. As you can see, my shadows haven't been dug into. I haven't made a huge mess with them. But keep in mind that I went into buying this palette knowing that people had a lot of issues with everything, so I've been really careful with it. But I don't hate it. It's not terrible. I love the colors because it's like a perfect palette for fall. But yeah, that's my little my biggest tip if you do have it and are trying to get it to work, is to use this, no, not this exact thing, but use a matte powder base all over your eye after you prime your eye. That way it has a powder to blend into and it doesn't just want to stick to the primer. I found that works perfectly well and makes it a lot more usable than if I was to just start using the shadows with just a primer on my lid. So that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you next time.